clear cut, but it's up to you how you're gonna get there, right? And obviously, I chose a just way of doing it. Like I'm gonna start slow, and eventually it's gonna pick up. And honestly, I'm pretty sure with this live with beer thing, it's gonna go far, So
Oh wow.
I'm so happy to be here.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, Romulus. And I just want to ask a very, personal question. Have you had any huge criticism in the past, and then like you walking in a path where you're unique now, you're not competing with anyone, you're just like trying to take yourself to another level day by day. So now people must be looking up to you, and people must be looking down on you also. People must be finding you weird sometimes. People must be looking up to you also. Like you're walking in another way. Like you're just not with the people anymore. It's just like you're going in a path where you don't look for a job, but you're willing to give job to others. Like you're in that position now. So how do you take the criticism? How do you take all this, like faulty words that people pass commands and all that? How do you take all these commands? Like I just want to know this.
Well, honestly, any criticism, hopefully, normally when people criticize, it should be constructive criticism. If it's not,
Yeah,
criticism is criticism.
that did, for me, criticism is like anything, like just they hate you. Yeah.
If they're gonna hate, let them hate.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, you cannot please everybody, and I'm not out here to try and please everybody. I'm out here to send a message to the people that actually want to listen, the ones that want to change their life, people that want to change their attitudes, and the people that want to, change their mindset. I'm not here for. I'm not here. I'm not gonna here to be brainwashing anybody. I just want to just get my message across. If you're not vibing with the message, then don't listen. Don't tune in. That's all I have to say.
Wow. That's just so straightforward. Oh yeah, and if you would you mind if you take me to your past a little bit, like how you grew up in Canada and how you were as a child and how you grew and what made you, what took you till this level, like just take me a little bit to your past.
Okay. Well, I was born here in Canada. My parents are both Haitian. I believe they're both from Port-au-Prince, Port-au-Prince, which is like the capital of Haiti. Actually, don't quote me on that. I don't want to. I'm kidding. Anyways, yeah. So they both came from Haiti, and yeah. So I was born and raised here. I have two older brothers, and like I'm the baby of the family. It's I guess it's a little bit hard when the two older brothers, they don't really look at them. They're kind of just looking at me, So because like they kind of like a little deviated away from like the path that they were meant to take. But at the end of the day, it's fine because I actually like that pressure. Honestly, without pressure, you can't make diamonds. With pressure, you make diamonds. So give me all the pressure. It's all good. So, anyways, my mom she's a PSW, so she works with older people, and my dad is a mechanic. Like I came from like a humble home. We didn't have a lot of things, but I knew the value of a dollar, and I knew that if I wanted anything, I had to work for it. My parents didn't make me feel like, oh, if you want anything in life, it's just gonna fall in your lap. It doesn't work like that, man. My mom, legit, she's actually one of my greatest inspirations because this woman, doesn't matter if she's sick, she's I don't know, she's not feeling well or anything. She's always at work. It's kind of crazy when I see her sometimes. I'm like, my mom looks like she's like kind of like she's like, at least she's like 58, but she actually looks like she's older than that. And it's kind of weird. It's like you kind of look at her. It's like, oh, an old person taking care of older people. But at the end of the day, it's her job. She's grinding. She's working hard to make sure that we're all good. I don't live at home. My two other brothers do, but I moved out like maybe 2-3 years ago. And like I wanted something better for myself. I wanted like obviously my privacy and stuff. Cause I'm a young lad. I'm growing up and and I don't want to be at home because things get a little heated, especially when you have three big older brothers or three big dudes living in the house. Friction. Ain't nobody got time for that. So I moved out. I did my thing. And yeah. So like honestly, one of the things that probably pushed me the most to do this for myself is the fact that us Haitian people, we have this expression called "si Dieu veut," and what that means in English is like if God is willing. And my mom used to use that a lot when we were kids, and it honestly, it really pissed me off because the way she would use it, she would go around saying stuff like, "Oh, if I don't know, let's say." I don't know. When I was a little kid, I used to remember, like, I used to get home. I don't know, maybe 3:30 or something, and then I'm waiting for my mom to get home because she's gonna like bring food or whatever because we need to eat. I'm gonna tell you this right now. My mom's not the greatest cook, but that's actually another thing that pushed me.
That's very ironic. Everyone says my mom's the best cook.
No, it skipped a generation completely. My grandmother is an amazing cook, but my mom, she went into her studies, and she just wasn't home. She just didn't learn it. But it skipped. When I say it skipped a generation, I mean I'm a good cook. I'm a pretty decent cook, and I'm happy about that because especially I'm living on my own. I'm not out there eating out all the time, But it is what it is, But what's it called? She would always use that expression "si Dieu veut," if God is willing, and she come. I know she wasn't home by a certain time, but like 4:30 or something. I know she's out there grocery shopping. So I'm like, okay, I'm waiting. I'm hungry. She finally gets home maybe around 6 o'clock, right? But she gets home. I'm like, okay, She brings all the bags. I'm like, oh, go help me bring the bags in. Like, I think my brothers went to go outside with me. I'm like, I'm scavenging because you know how it is. You live with two older brothers. You gotta pick what you want first, right?
Yeah,
so
you rush up on what mom is bringing home.
Yeah, man, you already know. So I'm going through the bag and I'm like, yo, where's the food?
We do that shit.
My mom's like I'm like, what, mom? Like, where's the food? Like, I'm hungry, Like, the food is not there. I'm like, I didn't get food. There was sales on like paintings and like vases and stuff. I'm like, that's not the food. Like, I'm hungry. Like, what are we gonna do? Like, oh, if we're gonna get the food, it's God willing. We're gonna get the food. I'm like, no, it's not God willing. It's if you want it. If you want something, you gotta go get it. So I learned at a young age. I'm like, nah. Everybody. I'm not blaming anybody about their faith and stuff like this. You gotta believe in some. I believe in myself. Other people believe. I always believe in a divine. This karma. I believe in karma.
Yeah.
What the energy that you put out is the energy that you're gonna receive.
Yeah.
Right?
What you do is what you get.
That's exactly it. So in my head, I'm like, okay, so if I want something, I gotta go get it, right? So yeah, I learned that at a young age, and man, it just stuck with me. My mom was out there working. My dad is always working. He said he wants to become like a millionaire by the time he's like 50. Honestly, he says he's close. I don't know. I'd be like, yo, if you're close, where my share at? Where my piece of the pie at? I'd like this little money to start this business, but I had to do it on my own. Like, honestly, like, there's nothing more prideful to say as a man that I started something. This is for me. This is what I wanted, and I'm just gonna make it into something, it's something to be proud of,
Yeah, from the story that you told me just now, like, I just want to say something in relation to like my own culture. Back home in Manipur, like, it's really it's beyond our possibility. It's not beyond our possibility, but it's beyond our imagination that, like, when we are 18 years or unless you are orphan or unless you are kicked out of the house, we don't really have the culture of moving out of the house. Back when I was in my teens, when I watch Hollywood movies, we saw like people moving out. I'm like 16 years, I gotta move out, and like this is my parents' home. Like we sometimes it really freaked me out, like with the term called parents' home, because for us, like, my parents' house is my house. Like we don't really define like it's my house, that's my parents' house. We don't really do it that way. But here, like, you have this culture that when you're 16, 15 years is the mark. Like, after this, you have the choice. Like, you can stay or you can move out. So, like, if you're not exposed to the culture, like my culture, that you need to stick around with your parents. Like, in my culture, to be honest, like, even if you get married, you got to look after your parents and stay with them through generation. Like, you still have your grandparents, parents. If I'm honest, like, if they don't die, they don't pass away, then you gotta stay with like 4 or 5 generations in the house. Like, and it's worse in the southern part of India, where it's no longer look like a house. It's like a castle, like huge, like the whole family, my aunt, everyone lives together. It's kind of fun. Like, you see all your relatives. You don't need to use a mobile phone to call and like, how are you? Hey, you see it all the time. Like, it's like very close yet huge family. Like, if you were born, for example, if you're growing up in a society where you cannot just like move out of the house and just do whatever, live in the way you want, because honestly, if you're staying with your parents and with your elders, you can't really do what you want, like, because
Yeah, there's a whole respect
to make
and
some sense, like,
Mhm.
yeah. So if you're born in that kind of in that part of the world, what would you be like? How would you deal with it? Like, just imagine, like, if you're born in a place like Manipur, like, you're not allowed to go out, and like, you're just